Alrighty, what is Sven covering today? I am doing a little bit of Starfinder. We are going to go ahead and start off. So if you look at the screen, you'll see that my whole chat bar is messed up and it's way too big. So I changed the scale UI yesterday when I was using the table so people could see what I was doing. And so when I pulled it back up, this is how it showed up. A couple things. So let's go to when we first open it up. So when you start Fantasy Grounds, you'll get this opening screen. I'm waiting for it to pop up. So you can change the settings there. Uh, my computer's been being a little weird today, so I don't know how quickly it's going to load. But here it is. Okay. So when you come here to this opening screen, you will see that your font is really big. And so if we go right here to settings, like I said, it's taking a little bit longer on your computer. I'm sure it will not take this long. Um, it brings up the same thing as if you were you're going to be upgraded. Oh, okay. It says the detector is currently running to avoid errors in the update process. So it's as if I was trying to update it. Anyway, right here it says underneath the word currently running behind this window, it says um, scale UI. And so you can change it right there before you even get into Fantasy Grounds. But now that we're here, what do we do? So it's a couple different things. One, you can right click in the chat window to unlock it. And this is true for any window. You can then hold control or left click and drag, and it'll change the size of the window. The other thing you can do is click here in the window and then just type /scale UI, whatever you want it to be. Boom, there you go. And it brings it down. The scale UI gives you a lot more, or changes the amount of screen real estate you have by making everything, all the text and everything smaller or bigger. So if you have people who are um, forget their glasses or have height eye issues, whatever, they can blow things up and make it easier for them to read. In this case, I'm doing this so that the stream can see what I'm doing. I typically have mine about 85, between 80 and 90 is typically where I keep mine for my screen. So you'll see here it says scale UI down here 80. So I'm going to put it back where it was at 110, and then just going to unlock it, control. Oh, I locked it by mistake. Okay, boom. So now we can see the menu again. Um, so what we're going to be doing today is I'm running this group. As you can see them here, this is a 2-scale party picture. Obviously, the ship they fly in is not to scale, but the rest of them are. Um, and there we go. That's a group photo. Um, and they're running around and they're looking for. They're doing I'm sorry, my mind is running 1,000 miles an hour. What we're doing today is I'm going through my prep when I'm using a pre-written module. I'm going through this Dawn of Flame AP, and we're actually in book 2 already, part 2 of 6. Um, And what I've done, I've already made changes and stuff like that, but I've read through the physical copy several times. You don't have to have a physical copy if you want to use Fancy Grounds. Um, you can read it through. It's just you have to read it in Fancy Grounds. Um, a lot of Paizo stuff you can find PDFs for as well, if you're looking for that. Same thing with D&D. Um, what? I just realized my title was wrong. Like it didn't copy and paste the correct one. Let me try this again. There we go. Control C. There we go. Yeah, it helps if you actually read what you're doing. There we go. All right. So, anywho, um, so what I'm doing is I'm now opening up, looking at the maps in Fancy Grounds, uh, just see if I want to tweak the maps. There are times when it'll say enter the room and there's two chests and a bed against the wall and a uh, waterfall falling from the east side, and the map just has a square room. So, I like to add those things for my players to enjoy, or if there's a flickering light, and so I'll add the flickering light, um, things like that. The Paizo Starfinder adventure paths have decent images and decent maps, and so I don't have to do a whole lot with them. So here we are in the EOS Club. I'm going to go ahead and drop this one down here instead. Boom. I also like to have the map that I'm using down here, which I don't right now. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's the Dawn of Flame. I'm just going to have that up here for a moment. That's the adventure path I'm doing. And so let's see, we're doing the I want to check my message of the day real quick. All right. Yep, so that is correct. So we're going to open up our image. So the message of the day pops up when players first log on. Here they are. This is the map. So I've already tweaked. If you look at the sun or the outside and stuff, I've also added light all along here because these are large windows that peek out into where the sun's flare is and stuff, so that it's shining down into the room. Um, Let me go ahead and I've sort of, again, just hold control and left click and drag, and it changes the size of the window. That's true for any of these things. So I'm going to drop this map down here. All right, so I'm familiar with what's going to happen. We'll go ahead and turn off the line of sight and the lighting for another moment. So this is what the map looks like. All right, so that blue thing is there. That's good. The locker rooms, showers. Okay. Yeah, so I really don't have to do a whole lot with this. The thing I am going to do is change the um, line of sight. So let me show you the difference. So if you look here, they drew the line of sight around the outside of the wall. I'll turn it off for a minute. So here's the wall, and I drew the line of sight right along the edge of the wall here. See, it goes out and around it. The problem is, let me show you what it looks like. So if we go to line of sight, they don't know what's blocking the line of sight. Let me show you from his point of view. It's just there's nothing there. It just stops. So what I do is I put it in the center. So you see here, now you can see the wall. You can't see through the wall, but you can tell there is a wall there. See, there's a wall here that's stopping my line of sight. It doesn't just end as it does over here. So I want to fix that. There's also a lot of these occluders, is what they're called. Every point here is called an occluder. Occluder, occluder. Um, the more, this is not a huge map, but it's got a lot of occluders. And when you have ones that are huge and with like cavern walls that twist and turn and have tons of occluders on them, it will bog down your load time and bog down your play. So um, what I do is I fix these. So let's go back to turn off the line of sights. Go to our up here to the line of sight tab. So go into play, turn off line of sight, go into here for the line of sight. Go here to the select, and I can just go here and just select everything here. So see how they all turn red? It means they're selected, and then hit delete. To delete them, go to my line tool and just draw it in. Now, once it's clicked, I can then use the arrow key to go exactly one square, click, boink, and then now I have to manually draw them. Sometimes I'll do it on the line. In this case, I'm going to extend it just a little bit more. All right, so I'm not going to, so now I'm dividing it up here. I'm going to go all the way down to the door. You want to make sure you go all the way up to the door and don't leave any kind of gaps. Escape to stop drawing. And now I'm going to start here again, come down, and then I'm going to hit escape for here because I want to get rid of these. So I'm going to zoom in here. Whoa, Control Z, hit my select, draw a box, delete, and I get rid of all that. Good, good, good. Go back to my line. And we're going to want to make sure we go all the way to the door. And we're going to go here. And connect the dots, escape here. And connect the dots. Escape. Okay, so now we've got the line of sight for this area. They already went through here, so I'm not going to worry about that. I Control Z. I keep forgetting to change my select. Okay. All right, so we're going to go here. I don't want to cut out the doors. The doors are okay. So that's why I've been doing it this way. Delete. Now, is this the end of the world? I mean, does it make this map unplayable if I left it the way it was? No. So you can, you can keep playing with it. You can still use it the way it is. It's not, but I just prefer it to look like this because to me, it's Makes more sense to be able to see what's stopping your line of sight. Escape. Instead of having it completely just stop with no reason. Go down. And like I said, all the details, all the things that are supposed to be in the room are typically in the room. They do a good job, Paizo does, of with their maps as far as adding what's supposed to be there and stuff. So it's pretty cool. If it says there are showers, there's usually showers, things like that. I'm going to go ahead and keep drawing this, and then I'll zoom in and select the other ones. I'll show you another trick too. So I'll go ahead and stop here for a second. So if we go here to the select button and then double tap, click, click, it selects that shape. So everything around that. So boom. So there's another way of doing it without having to pull and possibly screw it up. All right, so let's finish up. Back to our line tool. So you'll notice there's a big gap there between the door. Um, and you definitely want to fix those. And I'll show you why, even if it's a small gap. So I'm going to go down here and just make it a really small gap. Escape. So if we go in, you'll see there's a small gap here. And you might think, who cares? Let me show you who cares. So you go here, you go back to our line of sight and our lighting, line of sight. Let's bring in our token. So as you come along here, okay, line of sight's all cool. We come through the door. Everything's cool. All right, let me see what's going on here. Where am I? Okay. So now, as he comes down here, you see here, see over here, there's a big old gap. So you can see through into this other room because of the wall. Now, if we come over, let me hold shift. There we go. Same thing happens here. See here? As he's moving, you have this big old line. And the player's like, what? What is that? Why is that there? It's because there's no, that tiny little gap that we saw. Because that tiny little gap. And so you go to select, you grab it, and you pull it down. And it's no longer there. All right, so we'll go back here, back to the line of sight. Put Kenshu back where, Kershu back where he's supposed to be. So that's why a lot of times I'll hit, when I'm doing line of sight like this, I'll just take it and go like this. And what will happen is when you get weird things happen, it'll pop up and it'll be like, oh, what is that? See another one here, up here, stuff like that. So it lets me know where I'm missing and where there's any kind of gaps. Um, It's a quick little process that you can do. All right, so let's finish up this line of sight down here. Click on the line. Again, you want to make sure you don't leave gaps. Escape. All right, put one here. No peeking, no peaks. All right, we're gonna finish up in this room. If it extends a little into the door, it's not a big deal. The key is to, there we go, missed this whole little glitch there, a little glob of pixels there, occluders. Interesting. All right. Oh, I'm in select. That's why. Like, why isn't it drawing it? Stretch just a bit. To here. Escape. All right, I'll zoom in and see what's going on here. Oh, I don't have it. I'm in the wrong mode. There we go. All right, and then what is this? What is this? All right, so they put this as a terrain, which means if you're standing on it, you can see beyond it, but if you're not, you can't see through it. I don't think this is necessary for the pool. I'm just going to delete it. Boom. That's just a judgment call. Uh, even myself on a different day, I might have changed my mind and said, never mind, I'll just leave it. But for right now, I'm going to get rid of that. Maybe making it a pit, but it's not deep enough. It's basically a hot tub. So if you're sitting in it, you're still going to be able to see out of it. If you're standing above it, you're going to be able to see in it. I am going to add some water effect to this. So let's go to Effects, Add Effect. Oh, I have Ocean already. So let's see. Let me go back to Ocean and Reveal Area. Let's see what it looks like if I just reveal the ocean in this. That's actually not bad. And that way I don't have to redo anything else different. I'm just going to tweak it. Hide area. And the blur is up good. And then we're going to hide this area. Okay, we're going to bring it in then. There we go. I don't want it bleeding into the wall. It's not a huge deal, but it's fine. There we go. And we can also pull down the distortion a bit. Just have it be a little watery. This isn't flowing water, it's like a river anyway. But I do want it to have a little bit of fluidity. All right, so we can delete this one. So you'll notice there's a bunch of line of sight level layers here. That's because I just messed up. So what you want to do is when you're doing your line of sight, we'll go back to our line of sight. just click on the layer that it's supposed to be on. Having multiple layers doesn't matter. It's not going to slow things down. It's not going to make a big difference. Um, it just makes it's just a little OCD in me. I don't like having it. All right, so let's finish up this line of sight. All right, and again, they have some of these objects as terrain. I'd rather they put them on there and I delete them than not have them if I want them. But in this particular case, I just don't think a lot of these are necessary. But I can definitely, I do some of these conversions as well. And so when I see stuff like this on the map, like here you could have a fight in this room. And so you have tables and things that you could hide behind. You could use this as cover. So you definitely want to have the occluders there. But, and that might be why they put them here, those type of things. So I can understand the logic. But that's your job as GM to make that judgment call. Do you think it's necessary? Do you want your every object, every furniture piece in the room to stop line of sight? Or do you want to just use theater of the mind for that? Your imagination. All right. So now we zoom out, we check, we look. So we have a couple here. Interior walls and stuff. It's not that big a deal, but may as well finish it up. All right, line. Actually, I'm going to select, click him, go down to escape. Now we go line. Sir Clickety. Yeah, this is crooked. And I don't care. So if you want to see how this plays out, come join me on Sunday nights. Every other week we do this one. This is called the Dawn of Flame campaign. They are on the surface of the sun. So that big white orange stuff up here is the sun. All right, I'm back. Anyway, yeah, that's the surface of the sun. Dawn of Flame. Check it out every other week. I'm actually going to leave these occluders here. That's fine. I don't remember. Yeah, the kitchen does have some. They're protecting the elevator. Some bad guys in here protecting the elevator. So they are going to stand back here and use this for cover. So absolutely, I'll leave that there. All right, so I didn't mess with these, but I don't really care about this. They're already past that point. This many occluders isn't going to be the end of the world. Uh, there we go. All right, so what you could, what I've, as you skim through here, you can take a look. You can see where the different people would be. Um, you can link images. So like this person here, Thakwa. Uh, I could pull this image and add it to the room. Boof. So that way, uh, all I have to do is pull this encounter. Oops, escape, play. There we go. So I can pull the encounter. Actually, that's not even there either. Boom, there we go. So now I have the encounter, the image, and the parcel. So we can call this pool parcel. So I've got it all here, or I can just open up the room, stuff like that. So lots of different things you can do, whatever works best for you. I like a lot of lengths. Um, Sometimes because this is the battle map. That's always going to be open as a DM or GM, game master, uh, because that's where the fights happen. That's where all the stuff happens. Um, where they move around, I can see what the players are doing, where they're going. Those type of things are always going to be there. Uh, I am going to go ahead and seed these, place them. So if we click this, add it to the combat tracker, it then adds it to the map as well, so I can see where they're going to be. Um, None of these are going to be here because this encounter isn't going to take place because they've already taken care of those bad guys. So this room is empty. So now I have a visual reminder that these creatures are here. The players can't see them because they're not shown. The eyeball is lined out, and this will just remind me when I come around. I don't have to now take that step to do it either. Um, all right, so just a little bit of line of sight today. We did some special effects. So I done the ocean effect was what I used up here. There's several different things you can use for fire, but I chose the ocean because it's like the plasma from the sun and stuff like that. So I chose to go that route, and that's why I had it available, ready to go. Just jump right here to ready to be used for my liquid down here as well. You can set up two different special effects if you want. It's not that big of a deal. Let me go back to my map. Go put these back on. There we go. So I don't forget in case the players jump on early. Zoom in to what I was using for the play while we were playing. There we go. All right. So I'm ready to go, ready to rock. I'm going to go ahead and change this scale UI back to what I like. You can see I now have a lot more room to put my stuff on here. I call it real estate, screen real estate. All right, so I'm all set. I'm going to be calling it a day. I got stuff to do. We will be back later tonight, though. It's Thursday, so 6:30. Um, 6:45, 7 o'clock. Come back, check us out. we have a fun, exciting group that plays um, D&D, and then Sunday is this Dawn of Flame adventure. So like, subscribe, send the links to your grandkids, and whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.